说中文。
Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hi everyone, welcome to Chinese Pod. My name's Fiona.
And my name's Gwilym, and today we have an elementary lesson.
That's right, we're going to hear two friends complain about one of their boyfriends.
Okay, so what's wrong with the boyfriend?
He never carries her bag. So we're going to hear a little bit more about this conversation and we'll see you later.
Okay, well, let's listen to the dialogue 3 times.
对话第一遍。
我男朋友都不帮我背包包，
真的吗？为什么？
他说背女生的包包太娘了，别人会笑他。
那你买东西，他帮你拿吗？
不拿，他说拿着东西走路不方便。
那他买东西呢？
他自己拿，他不喜欢我碰他的东西。
这个人怪怪的。
第二遍。
我男朋友都不帮我背包包，
真的吗？为什么？
他说背女生的包包太娘了，别人会笑他。
那你买东西，他帮你拿吗？
不拿，他说拿着东西走路不方便。
那他买东西呢？
他自己拿，他不喜欢我碰他的东西。
这个人怪怪的。
第三遍。
我男朋友都不帮我背包包，
真的吗？为什么？
他说背女生的包包太娘了，别人会笑他。
那你买东西，他帮你拿吗？
不拿，他说拿着东西走路不方便。
那他买东西呢？
他自己拿，他不喜欢我碰他的东西。
这个人怪怪的。
Let's translate this.
我男朋友都不帮我背包包。
My boyfriend never carries my handbag for me.
我男朋友都不帮我背包包。
My boyfriend never carries my bag for me.
真的吗？为什么？
Really? Why?
真的吗？为什么？
Really? Why?
他说背女生的包包太娘了，别人会笑他。
He says that carrying girls' handbags is too girly. Other people will laugh at him.
他说背女生的包包太娘了，别人会笑他。
He says that carrying a girl's handbag is just too girly, and other people will laugh at him.
那你买东西，他帮你拿吗？
How about when you are buying stuff? Does he help you carry it?
那你买东西，他帮你拿吗？
How about when you're buying things? Does he help you carry it?
不拿，他说拿着东西走路不方便。
No, he doesn't. He says that holding something while you are walking is inconvenient.
不拿，他说拿着东西走路不方便。
No, he doesn't. He says that holding things whilst walking is inconvenient.
那他买东西呢？
How about when he buys stuff?
那他买东西呢？
How about when he buys things?
他自己拿，他不喜欢我碰他的东西。
He carries it himself. He doesn't like me touching his stuff.
他自己拿，他不喜欢我碰他的东西。
He carries it himself. He doesn't like me touching his things.
这个人怪怪的。
This person is a little strange.
这个人怪怪的。
This person is a bit weird. Right, well, now we've translated it. How about we break it down?
All right, well, let's start from the beginning of the dialogue where we hear her complain and say, 我男朋友都不帮我背包包。
So she's complaining about her boyfriend. And the word for boyfriend?
男朋友
And what does he never carry?
her handbag. And here we see the duplication of the word 包, we see 包包. Now, if you see this 包包, most often it's referring to a girl's bag because when you see like the duplication of nouns or verbs, it makes it sound a bit more cutesy, a bit more kind of childish. So that's why we know it's a girl's bag. Now, how about the verb to carry?
So in this case, it is bei first tone. So I know na, which means to carry with one's hand. So how about this one?
So bei is something that you carry on your shoulder or on your back.
So it's probably referring to a handbag with a shoulder strap.
And here in this sentence, we see a key word that indicates that he never carries her bag. Here in the sentence we see 都我男朋友都不帮我背包包. Now, 不帮我 is to not help me, but by adding the word 都, you're highlighting that someone never does something.
Okay, so if I never help you wash the dishes, how could I say that?
Gwilym, 你都不帮我洗碗.
So when you see 都不 together, it just means never.
Now, like any good friend listening to a story, you probably have to be like, really? Why? 真的吗？为什么?
So 真的吗 is a very common phrase and it's a great conversation filler. You can just use it almost in any situation.
Yeah, exactly. So you can be like, oh, 真的吗?
So what is his reasoning for not helping his girlfriend?
Well, she says that 她说背女生的包包太娘了，别人会笑她。
So he says that carrying a woman's bag is 太娘. So what is this 娘? It must be an adjective.
Well, good question there, Gwilym. Niang, the character itself, is actually a noun. It means woman or mother. But used in this context, it becomes an adjective, and it's a colloquial term for calling a guy or laughing at a guy for being a bit girly.
Okay, so you can't use this for women?
No, so this phrase, this colloquial phrase, is specifically used for kind of mocking men for being too girly, too feminine.
So obviously this adjective is a bit rude, so just be careful when using it, and it kind of just translates as like a sissy.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Chinese Pod Trivia. Our first question is, how long will it take you to become an intermediate Chinese speaker using the Chinese Pod app? Is it A, the rest of your life? B, you should already be an intermediate speaker? C, 3 months? Or D, Chinese Pod has an app?
You should already be in.
Ooh, that is incorrect. The correct answer is C, 3 months. That's right. Head over to ChinesePod.com now to register for your access to over 4,000 lessons. Get the Chinese Pod app now on Google Play or the App Store.
Now, the boyfriend thinks that because he might appear feminine, that other people will laugh at him. So the way we say other people is 别人会笑他. This 会 here means will and not can do. So other people will laugh him, 笑他.
Right, well the friend wants to know, how about when they're shopping? Does he help out? Does he carry the bags?
So here we hear 那你买东西他帮你拿吗? 帮 is a verb that we've seen before, and that is to help. 买东西 is to buy things, stuff. And then we see a very common verb, 拿, which means to carry. Now, do you know the difference between 拿and 背, because they both translate as carry?
Right, so like we said before, 背 is used specifically for carrying things on your back or shoulder, whereas 拿 is more to do with just grasping in your hand.
Yes, that's exactly right. And a good way to remember is if you look closely at the character, you'll see a hand radical. So any kind of thing that you carry with your hands, you would use 拿, and anything that you carry with your shoulder or your back, you would use 背.
Okay, so types of bags that you would use 背, maybe like satchels, backpacks, or handbags with a long strap. Well, in this case, he does not help her carry.
不拿.
And then he says it's inconvenient whilst you're walking. So the word for inconvenient,
不方便不方便
and specifically whilst walking, and the verb to walk.
走路走路
Right, so if we put this all together, he says that holding things is inconvenient while walking.
他说拿着东西走路不方便. Now here we see a very interesting grammar structure, and that is the 着 structure. Now it might be very tempting when you're starting to learn out Mandarin to equate 着 with the English ing. Now, I would strongly advise against this because as you progress in Mandarin, you'll find more and more ways that 着 is used. Now, it can be used idiomatically. It can be used indeed to express an action in progress, which is very similar to the English ing. Now, in today's case, we actually see it used to express doing something while you're doing something else.
Okay, so the key word is while. So eating while standing.
站着吃饭
Or in this case, carrying while walking.
拿着东西走路
Or maybe you could be crying and speaking.
哭着说话 So 哭着说话 I'm crying whilst I'm telling you something. 站着吃饭. I'm eating whilst I'm standing. And in today's case, 拿着东西走路.
Yeah, so he's saying it's inconvenient carrying things whilst walking.
So after hearing this, the friend says, well, how about when he buys stuff? 那他买东西呢?
Well, he actually carries it himself.
Yeah, so here we see the vocabulary for oneself. 自己.
Right, so he carries it himself. 他自己拿. And why is that? Why does he carry it himself?
Because he doesn't like other people touching his things. 他不喜欢我碰他的东西.
Okay, so peng is to touch, but it also means to bump things. In this case, he just doesn't like people touching his things.
If you want to say, don't touch my things, you can say, 别碰我的东西.
Right, well, I think he clearly has some issues, and that's why the friend says, this guy sounds a bit odd, a bit strange. So how do we say that?
怪怪的. 怪怪的.
So why are we seeing the reduplication of this? How does this change the meaning?
So the duplication of the word 怪, which is strange, just kind of softens the tone up a little bit. So it's not so strong. They're not saying, oh God, this guy is really strange. They're saying, oh, he's quite strange, isn't he? He's a little strange. 他怪怪的.
Okay, so if you want to say you're a complete weirdo, you would say
你超怪的.
But if you're just like, oh, he sounds a bit odd.
他有一点怪怪的. 他怪怪的.
Right, well, how about we listen to the story of the weird boyfriend 3 more times?
好，我们再来听听今天的对话。对话第一遍。
我男朋友都不帮我背包包。
真的吗？为什么？
他说背女生的包包太娘了，别人会笑他。
那你买东西，他帮你拿吗？
不拿，他说拿着东西走路不方便。
那他买东西呢？
他自己拿，他不喜欢我碰他的东西。
这个人怪怪的。
第二遍。
我男朋友都不帮我背包包。
真的吗？为什么？
他说背女生的包包太娘了，别人会笑他。
那你买东西，他帮你拿吗？
不拿，他说拿着东西走路不方便。
那他买东西呢？
他自己拿，他不喜欢我碰他的东西。
这个人怪怪的。
第三遍。
我男朋友都不帮我背包包。
真的吗？为什么？
他说背女生的包包太娘了，别人会笑他。
那你买东西，他帮你拿吗？
不拿，他说拿着东西走路不方便。
那他买东西呢？
他自己拿，他不喜欢我碰他的东西。
这个人怪怪的。
So I don't know about you, but often when you see a couple, more so than back in England, you'll see the guy carrying the girl's bag. Like in England, you would help carrying a bag if it was very heavy, but here it seems like even the smallest purse has to be carried by the guy.
So I guess this is one of those things that highlights the cultural difference, especially when you're courting someone. What's seen as, gentlemanly behavior in one country might not be seen the same way in another country. I guess here, these guys are just trying to show how considerate, how nice they are to their girlfriends. Look, I carry everything. I'll even carry your girly handbag to show you how nice a boyfriend I am.
Right, well, there you go. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast, and we'll see you again next time.
我们下次见。再见。
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number
2720.
So just go to www.chinesepod.com/2720 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/2720.